The election is a fight over your money. I'm Lilley with TheRebel.Media. Should you keep more of your own money? Should the government take more of your money? That's what your vote and this election comes down to. Yes, there are other issues, including the fight over the niqab at citizenship ceremonies or in the public service. There's, foreign affairs and how many refugees we take in. There's whether or not we fight ISIS. All of that is factored into the election. But the number one issue has been and remains the economy. And when it comes down to you and your pocketbook, really it's a fight over who gets more of your money, you or the government. Last week of the campaign, Stephen Harper is trying to drive home that message. Waterloo, Ontario, he holds an event where he brings forward a young mother to show that she's going to be out of pocket a lot of money if the Liberals form government.
The ROPs would also lose the advantage of income splitting, which would cost them an extra $1,770 a year in taxes. So let's add that to our pile. The choice is between keeping the benefits you have under us and getting more, or having them taken away under the Liberals and getting deficits instead. It's a choice between fewer jobs and lower pay with Liberal payroll tax hikes, Liberal and NDP payroll tax hikes for that matter, or more and better jobs under our party.
Stephen Harper is clear. This is a choice. You can choose lower taxes or higher taxes. Justin Trudeau, who is the leader on the progressive side right now with the best shot of winning, he says, that's not true. That's not true. We're going to cut taxes.
It's a fact. It's an attack based in untruths and falsehoods. This Prime Minister is willing to go to any lengths to try and maintain a grip on power.
Okay, let's do a bit of a fact check here. Will Justin Trudeau cut taxes? Well, he's going to cut one tax, and that's the middle income bracket. It's going to go from 22% down to 20.5%. All right, so that's a tax cut. Then there are all the tax increases that Justin Trudeau has promised. You don't need to listen to the Conservatives. You can just go to the Liberal platform. You can listen to what the Liberal leader or others like Ralph Goodale have said. And time and again, they have proposed increasing more taxes than they're promising to cut. Let's start with payroll taxes. And yes, they are payroll taxes. Both the Canada Pension Plan premium and the EI premiums are payroll taxes. The Liberals have called them that in the past. They've always been called that. Now they're just trying to get around it because they want to hike them. Justin Trudeau has promised to follow in Kathleen Wynne's footsteps in Ontario. That means that someone making $60,000 a year working full-time is going to be out of pocket another $1,000 in payroll taxes, going towards an expanded pension plan. What about the EI premiums? The Conservatives have already implemented a series of cuts to EI over the next several years. The Liberals say they won't follow through on that. They're going to keep EI premiums higher, meaning more money off your paycheck every week. They're also going to cancel income splitting. For a lot of families, that's going to be a loss of a few $100s, maybe a couple $1,000s. They're also going to review every single tax credit that Stephen Harper and the Conservatives have brought in. There's a $2,000 per child tax credit, that deduction that parents can take now. That didn't exist under the Liberals, and there's a good chance Justin Trudeau will scrap that. What about the arts tax credit, the bus pass tax credit, the sports tax credit, textbook tax credit? There are a lot of these. Some economists don't like them, but the fact is many Canadians have come to rely on them, and Trudeau and the Liberals say they're all up for review. They're not against scrapping any of them. They're also going to do away, for some families, with the universal child care benefit. That could be up to $1,900 if you've got a kid under 6. They're going to bring in a new 33% tax rate. Now, that's only for the top 1%, Trudeau keeps saying, but it is still a tax hike. You invest in tax-free savings account, lots of middle-income Canadians do. The Conservatives have promised to up the limit. The majority of people that actually max out their tax-free savings account, they don't make that much money. $60,000 below, they are not the 1% that Trudeau keeps claiming. Well, those people won't be able to put more money aside. There are studies showing that for some people, a tax-free savings account is better than an RRSP. But the Liberals don't like it because it's tax-free. They don't like that. They're going to roll that back. They're also talking about changing the small business tax rate because, according to Justin Trudeau, an awful lot of small businesses are just tax shelters for the wealthy. Rather offensive to a lot of small business owners, but he may increase their tax rate. And then finally, the tax for everyone. He wants to put a price on carbon. Whether that comes about as the result of cap and trade system or a direct carbon tax, it means one thing. you and I paying more for everything. Because if it moves by car, by truck, by ship, by plane, well, it's going to cost more because the fuel to move it will cost more. If it involves plastics or any petroleum byproduct, it's going to cost more. Even something as simple as firewood could end up costing more depending on how it's implemented, because firewood, it spews out carbon. This is the reality. Yes, Justin Trudeau has that one tax hike, moving down 1.5 percentage points on the middle income tax bracket. But then for everybody else, even the people that are going to get that tax cut, he's going to pile on more and more taxes. And guess what? Those will outstrip any tax cut that he offers. On top of that, he's going to go into deficit once again. When his father introduced deficit spending to Canada in the 1970s, he said it was just going to be temporary. It lasted until the late 1990s. Do we really want to go into that era again? Is that what we want to return to? This is the question of the election. Whether you want more money in your pocket or more money in Justin Trudeau's pockets.
Ow! We're building a studio. Help us out. Click here or visit buildthedream.ca.